Imagine holding a penny. The one you throw into a jar and forget about. But what if I told you that penny could be worth $1.5 million? Not just any penny, but a rare 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Sounds too good to be true, right? I thought so too, until I found out how many people have missed their chance to cash in on these hidden treasures. Today, I'm about to share everything you need to know about the 1964 D Lincoln penny, including why it's worth a small fortune, and how you could be sitting on a gold mine. But before you scroll away thinking, this can't be real, stick with me. You're going to want to hear this. If you think you've seen all there is to know about rare coins, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. The market is still wild, and there are collectors willing to pay big for these pennies. Keep watching, because you won't want to miss what comes next. Let's break it down. 1964. It was a year of major change in the United States, and it was also a turning point in coin history. That's when the U.S. Mint made the 1964 D Lincoln penny, and little did they know, they were creating something incredibly rare. Now, what makes this penny worth so much? It's not just because it's old. The 1964 D penny is rare because of its minting error. Yes, a mistake that makes this coin highly sought after by collectors. The 1964 D penny wasn't supposed to be struck with this particular die, and that tiny flaw, known as the D over D variety, is what gives it such tremendous value. This is where things get exciting. A coin like this isn't just another old penny. It's an opportunity. The current market value of a well-preserved 1964 D penny could easily push it to $1.5 million, yes, million. But the catch is, you've got to know what to look for. So let me ask you, what if the penny you're holding in your hand right now could be worth this much? What if it's just sitting there, waiting for you to recognize its true value? You might be thinking, I don't have that kind of penny, but trust me, many people don't realize they have something priceless until it's too late. Now, before you start digging through your pockets, I'm not saying your average 1964 D penny is suddenly worth millions. But hey, if you find one, don't go spending it at the gas station just yet. That penny could be your ticket to something life-changing. Pause. Just don't tell the cashier it's worth a fortune, or they might try to offer you a discount on that coffee. But seriously, this penny has the potential to change lives. So, how do you know if you have one? Here's where it gets critical. The minting flaw on a 1964 D penny might be hard to spot if you don't know what you're looking for. It's the D over D mint mark, a small, double stamp that creates a noticeable overlap of the D on the coin. This mistake happened when the die used to stamp the penny was replaced, but the original die's impression was still visible. It's subtle, but once you see it, you'll never forget it. First, flip your penny over and look closely at the mint mark. If the D looks like it's been stamped twice, you've just found a rare one. The overlap is key. This coin was only minted in a small quantity, so finding one is a treasure. But finding it is just step one. You need to act fast. These rare pennies are in demand, and the longer you wait, the more you risk missing out on the value. Coins like this don't just sit around forever. Collectors are constantly on the lookout, and once they catch wind of a coin like this hitting the market, the price could skyrocket. So, now that you know what to look for, it's time to act. You can either sell it to a collector, auction it, or, depending on its condition, get it certified for authenticity and max out its value. But you've got to move quickly. Don't let procrastination stand in the way of your fortune. But wait, here's the twist. There's even more to this story. You're not just looking for any 1964 D penny, you're looking for the rarest of the rare. And believe me, the ones that fetch the highest prices have a secret that no one talks about. Want to know what it is? Well, you'll have to stay tuned for the next video to find out. So, is your 1964 D penny worth $1.5 million? Only one way to find out. Take action now before someone else beats you to it. Now, get out there and start looking. You could be holding your financial future in your hands. I'll see you in the next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. You might be holding something in your hand right now that's worth more than you could ever imagine. Picture this, an ordinary penny, from 1973, stamped with the elusive D mint mark. What if I told you this coin has been known to fetch up to $1.4 million on the market? And it's not a fluke. It's happening right now. You see, it's easy to walk by these old pennies thinking they're just pennies. But this is where everything changes. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot the hidden treasure in your change jar and how to sell it for life-changing money. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could change everything for you. At first glance, a 1973 mint mark Lincoln penny might seem like nothing special. In fact, most people toss it into a jar or pocket it away without thinking twice. After all, it's just one of over 1 billion pennies made that year. But here's the thing, some of these coins, the rare ones, have the potential to fetch a fortune. So how do you tell the difference between the average and the extraordinary? A 1973 penny isn't necessarily rare in itself, but there's something unique about certain versions of this coin. That mint mark, the D, which stands for the Denver Mint, can sometimes be the key to something much bigger. It's not just about the year, it's about the details, the imperfections, the mintage errors. These are the coins that are worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. Now, let's get real here. If you're not careful, you could easily miss out on a coin that's worth a small fortune. You may be looking at your coin collection, thinking it's just another pile of old pennies, but there are hidden signs of incredible value in these coins. You see, the value of a 1973 penny isn't just about the mint year. It's about the condition and any potential errors or variations. Some of these pennies have been mistruck, either with double dies, which means the design was stamped more than once, or off-center, creating a coin that's not perfectly round. These imperfections can actually make the coin more valuable to collectors. But here's the kicker. These errors are so rare that most people have no idea what they're holding. Imagine walking into a coin shop or listing a penny on eBay that turns out to be worth hundreds of thousands. It's happened, and it's happening right now to people just like you. Let me ask you, how many times have you just tossed a penny aside, thinking, it's just a penny? Well, what if that penny was worth more than your car? Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it's exactly what's happening with some of these coins. Now that I've got your attention, it's time to get serious. Every day, more and more rare coins are being discovered, and with it, their value continues to climb. Just think about the opportunity sitting right in front of you. If you have a 1973 penny with one of those rare errors or in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But here's the catch. You don't have forever to act. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing out on a price spike that could turn your penny into $1.4 million. And that's not just a random number. That's the real market value for some of these coins today. You don't want to be the person who hears about someone selling their 1973 penny for a record-breaking amount and says, I had one of those, but I didn't know. The clock is ticking, and there are collectors out there who will pay big money for coins that other people don't even know are valuable. So what should you do next? This could be your chance to step into a world of opportunity. All it takes is the right knowledge and the confidence to sell what you've been holding on to all along. Start by checking the condition of your pennies. Pay close attention to the mint mark, the design, and any signs of error. You could be holding on to something that changes your life. But don't wait too long. The longer you sit on your coins, the more chances you miss to make a life-changing sale. That if you want to learn exactly how to evaluate your coins, what to look for, and how to get the best possible price, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss out on the next valuable coin you could be holding. And guess what? In the next video, I'll show you some secret tips on how to get your rare pennies into the hands of the right buyers. You won't want to miss it. I'll give you the inside scoop on the best places to sell your coins for maximum value, and how to avoid the biggest mistakes that could cost you thousands. Do you have a 1984 Lincoln penny sitting in your coin jar? You might just be holding a treasure worth up to $1.3 million. Stick around to find out why this penny is more than just pocket change, and how you could turn it into a fortune. But before we dive into the crazy details, I want you to ask yourself one thing. Could your penny be worth far more than you think? You'll want to watch all the way to the end. There's a surprising twist coming that could change the way you look at your old pennies forever. Alright, let's start with the basics. Why is this 1984 penny so valuable? It's all about the mint mark, or in this case, the lack of one. In 1984, most of the Lincoln pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but for some reason, a rare batch of pennies came out of the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark. This is where things get interesting. Now, before you rush to check your pennies, let me give you a heads up. The odds of finding this particular error are slim to none. But if you do, it could be the ticket to your new luxury lifestyle. And here's why. The absence of the mint mark means that this penny is one of a kind, so rare, in fact, that it can fetch a price between $500 to $1.3 million in some cases. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny, worth more than most people's cars, or even homes. You might be sitting there thinking, this can't be true. But trust me, this rare error has been proven in the marketplace. Let me give you an example of a recent sale. There was a 1984 no-mint mark penny that sold for over $1.3 million at an auction. So, if you're holding one of these rare pennies, you're holding a treasure. But here's the thing, how do you know if your penny is worth this kind of money? Now that we know why this penny is so special, let's talk about how you can spot it. Let's take a deep dive into identifying whether your 1984 penny is the rare no-mint mark gem, or just another coin in your collection. First, let's look at the basic characteristics. The 1984 no-mint mark penny should be made from copper, as was common for pennies minted before 1982. When you hold it in your hand, take a close look at the front of the coin, the obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's face is. Typically, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint would have a small P mint mark on the reverse side. That's the back of the coin. But on the rare 1984 no mint mark penny, there is no mint mark whatsoever. It's completely blank. This makes it a key date for collectors. But let's pause for a moment and think about something important. How likely is it that you've overlooked a penny like this before? Here's a question to make you stop and think. Have you checked your pennies closely lately? Because if you have one of these no mint mark coins, you could be sitting on a fortune. Don't miss out on your opportunity. Now, let's be clear. Finding one of these rare pennies is no small task. But don't let the fear of missing out, FOMO, get the best of you. Take the time, dig through those old jars, and start looking with a fresh pair of eyes. So, now that you know how valuable and rare this coin is, you might be thinking, what do I do if I find one? Let me tell you, this is where things get exciting. If you're lucky enough to find a 1984 no mint mark penny, it's crucial to have it authenticated by a professional grading service like the PCGS or NGC. This will verify its authenticity and can massively increase its value. Trust me, you don't want to miss this step. And here's the catch. Time is of the essence. Coin values fluctuate, and sometimes errors like these are discovered by others and flood the market. So, if you have a rare 1984 penny, don't wait around. Take action before the demand wanes. But here's the most important part. Are you ready to turn that penny into a big payday? Imagine yourself, years from now, telling your friends and family about how a single coin changed your life. Imagine what you could do with that fortune. Travel the world, retire early, invest in your future, and live the life you've always dreamed of. But wait, there's one more twist to this story that will blow your mind. I'm not going to tell you just yet. Stay tuned. We've covered a lot today, and now it's your turn to act. Don't let another day go by without checking those pennies in your collection. You could be holding a fortune and not even know it. Remember, the 1984 no mint mark penny isn't just a rare coin. It's a golden opportunity. It's up to you to make sure you don't let it slip away. But here's the big question I want you to ask yourself right now. Could this be the start of your path to wealth? Is it time to make some serious money from those old coins? I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and secrets that could change your life. Keep your eyes peeled and your coin jar ready, because with the right knowledge, you too could be one of those lucky people turning pennies into millions. Have you ever thought that the pennies sitting in your jar could make you a millionaire? Well, brace yourself, because today we're talking about the 1992 VDB Lincoln penny, a coin that, if you have it, could be worth up to $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.2 million. But here's the thing, it's rare. Most of us have seen thousands of pennies in our lifetime, but have you ever truly checked to see if you're sitting on a small fortune? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot a penny that could change your life forever. Let's set the stage. It's 1992, a year where most people were just focused on getting through the day, working, living their lives, and tossing coins into their pockets or jars without a second thought. The 1992 VDB Lincoln penny, like any other penny, wasn't seen as anything special at the time. But what if I told you that one tiny detail could turn it into one of the most valuable coins in the world? Now, Before you start digging through your old change, let me explain why this penny stands out. The 1992 D penny, minted in Denver, features the standard Lincoln design, but it has an extremely rare error that most people missed. Something so subtle yet so significant it could send you straight to the bank. But here's the kicker, most people don't even know this error exists. They look at the coin and think it's just another penny. But in reality, there's a specific variety of this coin that could fetch up to $1.2 million in today's market. If that doesn't make you feel a little bit of excitement, I don't know what will. But here's where things get interesting. How do you know if your 1992 D penny is the one that could make you a millionaire? This is where most people mess up, and I'm going to show you how to avoid the pitfalls and give you the steps to spot the real valuable coin. So don't go anywhere, we'll get into that in just a second. Now let's dive into the real magic, the error. You see, in 1992, the mint accidentally created what's known as a close AM error on certain pennies. What does that mean? It means the A and M in America, on the reverse side of the coin, are unusually close together. In most 1992 D pennies, you'll see the letters separated by a noticeable gap. But for the rare 1992 D close AM penny, there's almost no gap at all. This error was so subtle that, for years, it flew completely under the radar. Most people, even those in the coin industry, didn't realize the coin's value. It's easy to miss, but once you know what to look for, it's game over. And this is where you have to be extra careful, because timing is everything. Let's put things in perspective. Most pennies from this era are worth, well, a penny. But if you find this error, you're holding a small fortune in your hand. Imagine finding this penny in a roll of change or an old jar you've had lying around. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this some kind of joke? A penny that could be worth over $1 million. Well, let me tell you, this isn't your grandma's coin collection. We're talking about serious money here. If you have the 1992 D penny with the close AM error, you could be sitting on a small gold mine, literally. So, how do you spot this $1 million coin in your collection? First, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine the reverse side of the penny closely. Check the letters A and M in America. If they're unusually close together, you may have just struck gold. But hold on, because here's where the urgency kicks in. The longer you wait to check your pennies, the higher the chances someone else might find it first. It's not every day that a rare coin like this pops up. So, if you have a 1992 D penny, don't waste time. Look at it closely right now. Here's another thing. Once you find that rare penny, what do you do next? How do you sell it? You can't just go to your local coin store and expect to get top dollar. You'll need to find the right buyers, like auction houses or specialized coin dealers who deal in rare and valuable coins. Trust me, you'll want to sell it to the right person who truly appreciates its worth. Now, there's one final piece to this puzzle that I haven't told you about yet. A secret about the 1992 D close AM penny that could potentially increase its value even more. Are you ready for it? Keep watching because you don't want to miss this critical piece of information. Alright, you've stuck with me this far, and now it's time for the big reveal. The secret to really cashing in on your 1992 D close AM penny is condition. Yes, the condition of your penny plays a massive role in determining its value. The better the condition, the higher the price it could fetch. A penny in mint condition could easily sell for over $1 million. But even if it's in less than perfect shape, you could still be looking at thousands of dollars. So if you've got a 1992 D penny, it's time to check it again, and then check it one more time. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers, because if you have this rare error, your next step could be life-changing. But here's the bottom line. Coins like these don't come around often. The coin market is constantly changing, and so are the prices. So, if you're serious about selling your pennies for top dollar and turning them into a fortune, now is the time to act. 2008 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is worth up to $1.1 million. That's not a typo, folks. $1.1 million. Stick around as we reveal the truth behind this hidden treasure and how you could cash in on it. Imagine this. You're going through a box of old change in your attic or pulling out a jar of loose coins from the bottom of your drawer. Most of them look like junk, right? Old pennies, nickels, quarters, all mixed up. But hold on, then you spot it. The 2008 Lincoln penny. Nothing special, you think. It's from the same year as your niece was born, so it's not even that old. But wait, Something feels off. You don't see that mint mark. You start to wonder, could this be it? Now, most people wouldn't think twice. They'd just toss it in the pile and move on with their day. But you are different. You're here because you know there's more to these coins than meets the eye. What you've just stumbled upon is a rare treasure. One that could change your life. You see, the 2008 penny, missing that mint mark, was never meant to be released. It was a mistake. The US Mint didn't intend for these coins to go into circulation. And now, that mistake could be worth more than the car you drive or even your mortgage. But here's the kicker, only a few of these coins exist, and the market for them is getting hotter every day. Okay, let's break it down. You're probably thinking, what's so special about a coin that's just 16 years old? Well, when you understand the rarity and the history, everything changes. In 2008, the US Mint accidentally produced a small number of Lincoln pennies without mint marks. These were meant to be struck in Philadelphia, where the mint mark is usually placed. However, due to a mix-up, some of these pennies were struck without that identifying mark, and once these errors were discovered, they were pulled from circulation. But not all of them were caught. A few slipped through the cracks, making them highly sought after by collectors. And here's where it gets interesting. There's only a handful of these error coins in the wild, and the ones in good condition have been selling for astronomical amounts. In 2020, one of these 2008 no-mint mark pennies sold for a staggering $1.1 million. And that's not an isolated case. Every year, more and more people are finding rare pennies hidden right under their noses. I know. This sounds too good to be true, right? Like something out of a treasure hunting movie. But trust me, these kinds of discoveries are happening every day. And you could be next. Now that you're on the edge of your seat, let's talk about how you can take action. If you want to turn this find into big money, it all starts with knowing how to identify it. Here's what you need to look for. First, check for the absence of a mint mark. Normally, a penny from the Philadelphia Mint will have a P. But in this case, there's nothing. It might look like a regular 2008 penny, but this small detail could be worth millions. Next, check the condition. A coin in perfect or near-perfect condition is going to bring in more than one that's been worn down by time. You want to make sure your penny is as close to pristine as possible. No scratches, no discoloration, no damage. Now, this is where the real urgency kicks in. Coins like this don't stay hidden forever. The more people who know about them, the less likely you are to find one before someone else does. So, if you think you've found a 2008 no-mint mark penny, don't wait. Get it appraised as soon as possible. But here's the tricky part. Just because you have one doesn't mean it's going to sell for $1.1 million. The coin market can be unpredictable. So, you need to make sure you're working with the right people to get the best price for your treasure. And here's the question that most people don't ask themselves. What if your penny is worth even more than you think? That's right. What if you've stumbled upon something rarer? Something that's worth not just hundreds, but thousands. Maybe even millions? Now, I know you're sitting there, wondering, can I really find one of these coins? The truth is, yes, you can. And the truth is, people just like you are cashing in on their old pennies and living a wealthier life. It's happening right now, so don't sit on your hands. Go check your spare change, dig through your old coin collections, and keep your eyes peeled. The next millionaire might be you. Your journey to wealth is just one coin away, and it could be worth millions. Remember, the market for rare coins is only going to keep growing, and these types of hidden treasures don't stay hidden forever. Time is of the essence. So, go take action now before someone else finds your 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and takes your chance at wealth.